If I were to tell you that Solo Wolf won a major event this year, you might be surprised. Wolf has been on a huge decline recently. It feels as though less and less people believe in the character, and he's reached an all-time low. In fact, in the official Luma rankings, Wolf for the first time is ranked below Falco, putting him as the worst space animal according to that tier list. So Wolf winning that event is not only a breath of fresh air from the normal set of characters we typically see taking big events, but also shows that Wolf is still a strong force competitively and can take big events with the right player controlling him. But wait, there's even more to this. What if I were to tell you this is the first and currently only major event that Solo Wolf has ever won? Some of you might be thinking, wait, that can't be true. There's been top players such as Zackray, Tweek, and even MKLeo that have won major events using Wolf. While this is true, none of them have ever done it only using Wolf. The biggest event Leo won using Solo Wolf was 2GG Heart of Battle, but that wasn't considered a major. Tweek has won multiple major events using Wolf, but he's never solely used that character at big events when he did have him in his roster. Similar to Tweek, Zackray has won multiple major events using Wolf, but has never solely used him at a big event. It seems like the soonest and closest Solo Wolf was to winning a major event was at Umabura SP2 all the way back in 2019, which was won by Zackray mainly going Wolf. He did however play Ike in tournament, most notably in winter semis against Yakara's Fox. So yeah, the first solo major Wolf win was snuffed out by Ike of all characters. Fast forward to 2023 and Solo Wolf for the first time makes it to grand finals of a major event, this one being crowned the third. If Jacko were to win this, it would not only be the first major tournament Wolf has ever won, but also one of the most difficult tournament runs ever completed considering the players he had to go through in order to make it into grand finals. To make it into grand finals, he got 5 top 10 player wins, one of them including the best player in the world at the time, MKLeo. Unfortunately, he fell short to Zombo, who managed to beat him in the first set of grands. And finally, 2025, we get into the first and currently only player to win a major tournament going Solo Wolf. But before we get into that, let's talk about the start of Ultimate and why it took so long for this to happen. As always, reminder to drop a like on the video for the YouTube algorithm, and let's get right into it. Wolf is who I'd like to call an early meta character. His toolkit is straightforward, making him easy to pick up, especially early into a game's life. He's pretty well rounded, allowing him to have a lot of varying playstyles. If you want to be aggressive and pressure the opponent, he does have answers to do this. On the other hand, if you want to play more passive and defensive, he has answers to do this as well. During a time where pairing was far less common and people didn't know how safe or unsafe moves truly were, you could get away with a lot. His forward air is easily his best combo starter, being able to combo into multiple attacks, including another forward air. The move itself is pretty disjointed, allowing him to challenge non-disjointed moves and give him the ability to rival the range of some sword characters. Overall, this move is, in my opinion, Wolf's best attack, considering everything it does for him offensively and defensively, in addition to how important it is to his combo game. His blaster is an okay zoning tool. It does good damage, pushes the opponent backwards if it hits the opponent, and is great for disrupting approaching options. What really pushed Wolf to be as great as he was in the early meta was how early he could take stocks. His back air has kill power that is even stronger than some character smash attacks. There are 3 hitboxes to it, dealing different damage and knockbacks. The best one to get for closing out stocks is the outermost one that covers his foot. Even if you don't get the strongest one though, the other 2 are still pretty solid. The thing that people probably remember the most about Wolf in the beginning of Ultimate is how absurdly strong his down smash was. This move was one of the best attacks when it came to 2-framing because of how big the hitbox is. You could easily hit characters from below before they even grab the ledge. Depending on how far the opponent is, you have plenty of time to fully charge the attack, and then it all comes down to timing the release to hit the opponent with the move. With no rage, this move was ridiculously strong, able to steal an opponent's stock with a fully charged down smash as low as 30% depending on the character's weight. His recovery, while exploitable, came at a huge risk if the opponent attempted to edgeguard it. If you got hit with a sweet spot Wolf Flash off stage, you could lose your stock at a super low percent. His Firewolf had a pretty big hitbox that made trying to 2-frame it difficult to pull off as well. The fear of missing an edgeguard and getting reversaled, plus people just not being as proficient off stage in general, meant that Wolf was able to recover and avoided getting gimped a lot of the time. I'm randomly throwing this in here too because I'm highlighting Wolf, and I don't think I've ever talked about this in the video, but pre-patch Wolf could cancel the landing lag on his Wolf Flash, which made recovering with it even more ridiculous. If he air dodged and then did Wolf Flash, the landing lag would be reduced for some reason. This got patched out pretty early, so I don't know how many Wolf players at the time even knew about this or even were using it. But yeah, Wolf in the early life of Ultimate was everywhere and was a pretty common character for people to secondary yard pocket. Like I said, he's pretty easy to pick up because of how straightforward and versatile he was, and many argued he was one of, if not the best character in the entire game. So then why didn't Solo Wolf win a major in so long then? The answer is honestly just the player base. The players who were good enough to win a major tournament going solo Wolf just didn't solo main the character. Because of how easy he was in the early stages of Ultimate, he wasn't really a character that people invested a lot of time into. He's a character a lot of people would use in matchups they didn't like with their other characters, but not really someone you would hard commit to because of how simple he was and how beneficial it could be to invest more time to another character. He did get some nerfs. His down smash got nerfed twice, which is hilarious because it could still take stocks like at 50%. His blaster got 3 frames of inlag added to it, making it a worse zoning tool, and his Firewolf hitbox became smaller, making it an easier move to edgeguard in 2 frame. Honestly, the nerfs he got weren't that big of a deal. He still played the same but was just very slightly worse. He actually got a buff to his shine. They shaved a frame off of it, making his shine combos easier to do, and they made his jab usable. So it wasn't all bad. The main thing in my opinion is that Wolf was starting to get figured out, and it turned out he wasn't as versatile as many had initially expected. Punish and combo games were getting a lot crazier, and basic stuff with Wolf just wasn't as devastating as it used to be. He was also becoming a lot more of a time investment because of people getting better at the matchup and the meta in general evolving a lot more. For example, a lot of Wolf's most high damaging combos and his best setups all come from him hitting the opponent with a landing forward air. In the early stages of the game's life where people didn't parry as often and didn't realize how unsafe the move could be on shield, he could much more easily throw out the move with very few repercussions. Now it's more likely if you're not consistently mixing it up, you're going to get punished for doing it, especially at higher levels. Wolf's out of shield options generally also aren't super strong due to the startup of his moves. But he does have footstyle to shield up special, which can lead into a stock and has become a very important option for Wolf players to do. It's an option that is mostly used against aerial shield pressure and can be tricky to pull off since you not only have to footstall the opponent, but you have to make sure that you're not drifting in a direction when you're inputting up special, otherwise the opponent might fall out of the move. A lot of top players that used Wolf dropped him and decided to invest in other characters that were less maintenance or a better fit for their playstyle. The ones who stuck around and decided to push Wolf as far as they can just didn't get that big win yet. Let's finally talk about the player who made history winning a major with solo Wolf in the event he won. Masha may not be a name a lot of you guys are familiar with, but he has been competing in Smash for a very long time. He started off competing in Brawl as a Falco main. At some point he was considered the best Falco player in Japan and has gotten a lot of really good wins and results with him. His most notable one is beating Mewtwo King, who is the best Brawl player of all time. As a Brawl Falco main myself, he was definitely one of the players I watch and study the most. Okay, I'm sorry, that was a horrible joke. In Smash 4, he was a Diddy Kong player and was able to take sets off some really good players in that game as well, such as Zenyu, Komarakiri, Renai, and Earth. So it goes without saying, he is a very talented player and one of the hidden bosses of Japan. In Ultimate, Masha is being Mia before, who at the moment is the best player in Japan and the number 2 player on the current Luma ranking. So yeah, he's really good in Ultimate as well. The tournament that Masha won is Grand Slam 17, which I think just barely became an 8-tier tournament on the Luma ranking. For anyone wondering, based on Luma ranking system, any tournament that is 8 tier or higher is considered a major event. Despite winning, Masha had a few close sets at this event. The first one was against Atori, the villager player who took Masha to game 3 in a best of 3 set. For my Brawl players out there, this is not Atori the Meta Knight player, different Atori. After that he got taken to game 5 by Xian, who I believe is the second best hero player in Japan behind Akakikusu. His next close set was against Carmelo, a top Steve player in Japan, and then finally winners finals against Torigiri's Banjo. In Grand Finals, Masha was able to beat Torigiri again, this time in a 3-1 victory. I know a lot of people were very excited to see Solo finally win a major event, but at the same time, there were also a lot of people who were upset because it came at the cost of preventing Solo Banjo from winning his first major event. But at the moment of me recording this video, this is the one and only time Solo Wolf has ever won a major event. Congrats to Masha for making history and being the first. Even though there's been somewhat of a decline of Wolf competitively, I still believe that the character is really good. The problem is he just takes a lot of work compared to some of the other really good characters in Ultimate, but I do believe we will see another solo Wolf win a major event again, and I'm confident it won't take over 6 years to happen. And that is it for the video. Reminder to drop a like on it if you enjoyed watching it. Also subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more Smash content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.